Okay, I paused the recording and we didn't tape the opening invocation or the Om. But I was just saying that my teacher always says to, after you chant, to just feel the electromagnetic current of the Sanskrit vibrating in you and to forget your name and form for a moment. So today we're going to start by, we're going to chanting the Yoga Sutras, and last time we chanted up to 112. We're going to start again just chanting, and we'll chant, I think we'll chant up to īśvara pranidhāna 123, and then we'll go back and start with 112 and talk about the meaning of the sutras that we chanted. Are you ready? We'll start with another Om. Om. Samadhi padaha. Together. Samadhi padaha. Atta yoga nushasanam. Atta yoga nushasanam. Yogash chitta vritti nirodha. Yogash chitta vritti nirodha. Tadadrastu svarupe vastanam. Tadadrastu svarupe vastanam. Vritti sarupyam itaratra. Vritti sarupyam itaratra. Vrittaya panchatayaha klishta klishtaha. Vrittaya panchatayaha klishta klishtaha. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smritayaha. Pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smritayaha. Pratyakshanumanagama pramanani. Pratyakshanumanagama pramanani. Viparyayo mitya jnanam atadrupa pratishtam. Viparyayo mitya jnanam atadrupa pratishtam. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpaha. Abhava pratyaya lambana vritti nidraha. Abhava pratyaya lambana vritti nidraha. Vritti or nidra, sorry. Anubhuta vishaya sampramoshaha smritihi. anubhuta vishaya sampramoshaha smritihi abhyāsa vairāgyabhyam tannirodha abhyāsa vairāgyabhyam tannirodha tatra stitthau yadno vyāsaha tatra stitthau yadno vyāsaha satu dirgha kala nairantarya satkara sevito vriddha bhumihi. I'm going to break that one up. We'll do that one. Satu dirgha kala, satu dirgha kala, nairantarya, nairantarya, satkara sevito, satkara sevito, vriddha bhumihi, vriddha bhumihi. Satu dirgha kala nairantarya satkara sevito vriddha bhumihi. Satu dirgha kala nairantarya satkara sevito vriddha bhumihi. Drishtanushravika. Together. Drishtanushravika. Vishaya vitrishnasya. Vishaya vitrishnasya. Vashikara sanya. Vashikara sanya. Vairāgyam. Vairāgyam. Drishtanushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanya vairāgyam. Drishtanushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanya vairāgyam. Tat param purusha kyater. Tat param purusha kyater. Guna vaitrishnam. Guna vaitrishnam. Tat param purusha kyater. Guna vaitrishnam. Tat param purusha kyater. Guna vaitrishnam. Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah. I'm going to break that one up now too. Vitarka, vitarka, vichara, vichara, ananda, ananda, asmita, asmita, rupanugamat, rupanugamat, samprajñātah, samprajñātah vitarka vicharanandasmita. Together. Vitarka vicharanandasmita rupanugamat rupanugamat samprajñātah samprajñātah virama pratyayabhyasa virama pratyayabhyasa purva samskara sheshonya purva samskara sheshonya virama pratyabhyasa purva samskara sheshonya virama pratyabhyasa purva samskara sheshonya pratyayabhya. I forgot a syllable there. We'll do that one again. Sorry. Virama pratyayabhyasa purva samskara sheshonya. It's virama pratyaya abhyasa is how the words break down. We'll do that together. Virama pratyaya abhyasa. Together. Virama pratyaya abhyasa purva samskara shesha purva samskara shesha anya anya. That's the word breakdown. Bhava pratyayo videha prakriti layanam. Bhava pratyayo videha prakriti layanam. Shraddha virya smriti samadhi. Shraddha virya smriti samadhi. Prajñā purvaka ittaresham. Prajñā purvaka ittaresham. Tīvra samveganam asanaha. Tīvra samveganam asanaha. Mridu madhyadimatratvat. Mridu madhyadimatratvat. Tatopi visheshaha. Tatopi visheshaha. And here we go. īśvara pranidhāna va. īśvara pranidhāna va. Uh, how was that pace for you all? You can unmute yourself too. Would you follow that? Okay.
That was really helpful.
Good.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Oh, good. We'll continue that. Also, next time we'll start with a group of them, and then at the beginning you'll have you can listen back to it at the beginning and have the chanting there. And maybe actually each time we'll build on it until we're chanting the whole thing all the way through. That would be good. The last class, we're chanting all.
It's a little fast for me.
It was a little fast? Okay.
But I think I'm used to the ashram's really slow pace, so I just have to get used to you. Perhaps.
Yeah, I think I could, a little bit slower could be good. And also I think breaking them down more is also good in terms of getting the chant, getting it right. And also, you know, that's where you get the word, understand how the words are as well. So
it's actually more of like the breaking of the words groups, because also I think it's easier for me to even remember if it's in shorter, you know, stanzas or stanzas.
The point, it's still getting I'll do more of the breaking it down, and also my thinking was that we would chant them first, and then as we go through the ones, we'll break them down completely. So, but yeah, with the chanting at first, we can do I can do more breaking them down into the word groups too. So I'm used to the timing of it. But we'll have lots of opportunities, well, as long as we keep doing this, to keep chanting the same ones over and over again. So.
And as long as we're all here at our homes.
Right, might as well chant the yoga.
Could be a while.
Right.
Sweet.
Okay, so this is, I believe, where we were. And move this over to the side, and I'm going to.
It's nice to see us all smiling over something so sort of rudimentary as Sanskrit, or, you know, rudimentary mixed with abstract.
Yeah. It's nice to have something like that bring us together, right?
I've definitely been smiling, joking, laughing at myself every time I'm like, I'm singing the alphabet. I feel like I'm like, you know, just a little kid again.
I had thought too, and I think we should chant the alphabet again, because prior to chanting this, there's, you know, with the Sanskrit, there's the words, there's learning the Yoga Sutras, but always you kind of come back to that. Even the chanting itself will be stronger and feel stronger the more connected you are to just the pure sounds of the alphabet. So perhaps, but so I think that chanting the alphabet is also a good thing to do, and put you in touch with that vibration. Depending upon where we get to today, maybe we'll chant the alphabet one time before we close. Although potentially doing that now would be before we start doing the. Let's see. Well, I'm already at this page. We'll do this. So here's the sutras that we were at so far. So we started with it. They gave the definition of yoga. Said we're going to talk about yoga. Gave the definition of yoga. Told you why you would want to practice yoga, and because then you can see you experience your true nature, and at all other times you identify with the activity of the mind. And then says there are 5 different types of activities of the mind, and defined those 5 types of the activities of the mind. And then with this sutra, we go back to the definition the way that you still these activities of the mind is abhyāsa. Together. Abhyāsa vairāgyābyam vairāgyābyam pranidhāna pranidhāna. Abhyāsa, practice, and vairāgya, non-attachment or dispassion, are the tad nirodha. That's how we nirodha them. Tad is them. Nirodha is like to harness or to master or to, it can actually mean to suppress also, although suppress has a different connotation for us, a very negative connotation. But the idea is that you want to be able to control still, you want to be able to focus and master and limit them and quiet them really, so that they aren't creating the layers of debris that prevent us from experiencing who we really are. Abhyāsa vairāgyābyam pranidhāna. Abhyāsa vairāgyābyam pranidhāna. So it's vairāgya. Abhyāsa vairāgya is a composite, and abhyam is the identifies it as instrumental. I believe that with or by, it might be ablative, I'd have to check. Yikes. Through them, that's how we, I think it's ablative. That's how we still them or suppress them. Tatra stithau yatno abhyāsaha. Tatra stithau yatno abhyāsaha. Tatra stithau yatnaha abhyāsaha. So this sutra is also interesting in terms of chanting it, in that everything ends up being long, I think. So we have the A from Tatra is lengthened by the Tra following it. Stit, the thing that isn't is the I in stit tau, but Au is lengthened. The A and yat no is lengthened because it's followed by two consonants. O is always lengthened. And then we have Ya, which is a long vowel, and Saha, because of the Visarga, is lengthened. So it's a really, this is a long, there's a lot of it's almost all the same except for stit tau, the I. And, but it's a powerful sutra. So stit tau is a double, so it's of the two, effort towards stilling the mind, towards stit tau, towards keeping it stand. Stit tau is like from sta, to stand, like as I've said, Afghanistan, Pakistan, or in the sutra number 3, tadadrastu svarupe vasanam. That's again all that. So of the two, effort towards stabilizing the mind is steadiness of the mind is practice. Abhyāsa. Tatra stithau yatno abhyāsaha. Tatra stithau yatno abhyāsaha.
Melissa, could you make it just like the tiniest bit bigger?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whoops. There we go.
I love your paintings, Melissa. They're fantastic.
Thank you. I was wondering if I should say any, well, so with this one, abhyāsa, vairāgya, abhyam, the idea is that it's the two together, like playing. Not, like they require them both, like the skillful use of the two. And there's the little yin yang symbol there. Also, my teacher Shanta was recruited by the Yankees. That's his glove and ball there. And, actually, so I drew a really great drawing for this one at first, and then I was like terrified, you know, the way that you get when you've done something good. But I knew it needed more, but I was afraid to finish it. So for a year, the glove and the ball were sitting in my studio in like the same place, so that they would look the same with the same light. And so finally Shanta said, you know, his son was coming into town and had said he wanted to like throw the ball back and forth some, and like, you know, could I give him back his glove and ball? So, and I had to finish it.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah. The process of working on these paintings was this combination of like facing, of like the struggle with paying attention to what the message I was getting about what to do for each of them, and my own ideas about what I should do, and then sometimes fear around like, could I do it, or, you know, the whole thing. And that, I like to say that actually that these 4 paintings up to here, 5 up to here, the 2 about abhyāsa, especially the 2 about abhyāsa and the 2 about vairāgya, took me 4 years, as 2 years. They didn't, it's not quite like that. And I also did this painting in the background, this 4-panel, 108 Gayatri mantras at the same time. But as I was approached, so the process of learning, I mean, so early on, it was depressing to realize that I wasn't the one in charge, that something else was what to do. And then as I'm starting to approach the sutras on vairāgya, non-attachment, I think, well, something else is going to have to tell me about that, because I am like super attached. And I don't really, like at this stage in my life, I have no intention of changing that. I am just going to stay attached. Then as I'm approaching those sutras, let's see what happened. We lost our house. My son had like he had issues with anxiety and a major anxiety attack. And I was really attached to the house. The house had been a big part of dealing with my son and his anxiety. And then I was diagnosed with cancer. And
oh, Melissa, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, I was ridiculously lucky in that it was caught by a fluke. It was caught really, really early. So I didn't have to go through chemotherapy. I had like a 2 operations, and then I got a sepsis, and was in the hospital longer with the sepsis than anything else. So yeah, so like then I'm thinking, okay, I get it. Vairāgya, all right. I'm hearing, I'm listening. So this painting, while the glove was sitting there, I was also working on this painting, and this painting, and then this painting, and then this one happened more quickly, and also the one in the background that you can barely see up there. The let's see if I can show you. I'll stop sharing for a minute. It's 108 Gayatri mantras.
Wow.
It's in gold leaf on an 8-foot long panel.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I couldn't just work on the Yoga Sutras then. I had to work on something that had some heart opening as well. So, yeah. These paintings took me a while, because this one I really wanted, like getting like a blue that really glowed. There's a lot of different layers on that blue to get that sort of like the blue pearl of meditation.
It's stunning. That blue is stunning.
Yeah, and it does really glow when you see it too. Because there's a lot of different layers. And then this one was another scary one where I sort of knew what to do, but how to paint water so that it looks like water, and also like I didn't want it to look photorealist. I wanted it to like look painterly like this. So that also took a lot of time. And then I'll tell you the story. There's a good story around this one, vairāgya. But we'll go back to chanting. We did tatvariskritauya abhyāsa. Okay. All right. Satu dirga kala. Satu dirga kala. Nairantarya. Nairantarya. Satkara sevito. Satkara sevito. Vritta bhumihi. Vritta bhumihi. Satu dirga kala. Nairantarya. Satkara sevito. Vritta bhumihi. Satu dirga kala. Nairantarya. Satkara sevito. Vritta bhumihi. Om. So after saying, after Patanjali says we use practice and non-attachment, he then goes on to define practice as effort towards stilling the mind, and continues that definition by telling you that practice is understood to be the subject here, is sa is that is then, to dirga kala, long time. Kala is time, uninterrupted, continuous. Satkara, kara comes from kr, to do or to make, and sat is true, so true doing or making, so with care or attention or consideration. Asevitaha is practiced assiduously, as I have here, from sevita, to dwell in, so frequently, practiced often, lived in. Vritta is, and bhumi is the earth. Bhumi is the earth, so it's firmly established in the earth. It's well grounded when it happens, when you live in your practice, when it happens for a long period of time with the right attitude, without interruption. Sa tu dirga kala nairantarya satkara sevito vritta bhumihi. Satu dirga kala nairantarya satkara sevito vritta bhumihi. Drishtanusravika Vishaya Vitrishnasya Vashikara Sanya Vairāgyam Drishtanusravika Vishaya Vitrishnasya Vashikara Sanya Vairāgyam Drishta nushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanya vairāgyam. I didn't give that last sanya vairāgyam. Do it again. Drishta nirshravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanya vairāgyam. Drishta is seen, like tada drashtu svarupe vastanam. So drish, seen, as in seen now in this lifetime. Drishta. Anushravika. Anu is again following. So shravika is like, according to the scriptures. So drishta. So it's also like, so drishta is seen. Anushravika is heard of, meaning like promised in the scriptures. So that specifically refers to the results of practice. Drishta nushravika. Vishaya are they're objects. That word occurs a lot, vishaya, because, like, for example, the definition of memory, anubhuta vishaya sampramosha smriti. Anubhuta is experience. Anu plus bhu, followed being. Vishaya, the objects again of experience. Sampramosha, non-stealing, smriti. So that's memory is not letting anything experience. The vishaya is like an object of experience. Not letting any of that get away is memory, for example. So vishaya shows up a lot in the Yoga Sutras because that's what we cling to. Vairāgya, the first level of, there's two sutras about vairāgya. The first level of vairāgya is when, let's see, through, here we go, vashikara. Kara again showed up here, so it's from satkara. This was a care or attention, sat being true, kara, doing, true doing. Vashi is will, so doing through will. Vashikara, samya is like conscious, you're aware of. Nya is knowledge, all knowledge. So you're aware of, and through the will, you decide to be vitrishnasya, free from desire, without craving. So by the use of will and with full awareness, samya, you become vitrishnasya, free from desire or without craving, of any of the vishaya, any of the objects that drishta could be seen or anushravika can be heard of. That is the first level of non-attachment, when you make the decision and work on it. And you become, and then after working on it, it's not just like deciding and then struggling with it. You make the decision through your willpower, you work on it, and then you actually end up no longer craving. It actually becomes part of your personness, that you no longer want anything that you could see or hear about, including, and very much including, the results of practice. You don't care if you get anything from it. You don't need to be enlightened. You don't want to be kinder. all of that. You don't wish that your boyfriend didn't bother you, you know, or husband or whatever, or girlfriend. Okay, let's see. So this painting, oops, now it's not working. So this was the painting way back at Sutra number 2, Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha. I had big plans for this center. I was going to really show what a good painter I was, and then all it needed was to be sanded and put the dot in it. That really depressed me and freaked me out, and like, wait a minute, who's in charge? This was my big idea. So as I'm approaching vairāgya, this time I'm determined. I'm like tired of being told what to do. I'm going to do like this really beautiful surface with lots of different colors and layers, and it's going to somehow be white, even though I'm going to do all these different layers. And as I start, so with this, my plan was that would be up here, and this, you know, this is like representing seen, you know, the colors of the rainbow, of the visible prismatic colors, and then there's sort of these sound waves along with this other stuff, like anything seen or heard of, and then this was that sort of like beautiful transparent, translucent, like sort of multi-layered surface. So it's going to represent vairāgya. As I'm working on it, I keep hearing this voice going, you know, like, this doesn't really seem like, so vairāgya, the word vairāgya also comes from the root of it means colorless or clear. So that's why it means not attached. You're free, you're uncolored by desire, or uncolored by you're clear, uncolored of the need to like have this or have that. You're just clear. As I continue to do these layers, I hear this voice in my head going, no, like this doesn't seem like non-attachment. This seems kind of like piling on, you know, I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't really seem like no, I'm doing this. And then, you know, it really didn't look like that. And then I had this idea, and then I did it, eventually did it, that this is cut out. This is clear. There's a piece of clear acetate backing it. And there's the very attached triangle that was cut out at the bottom. So,
oh, yes.
Yeah. You'll let it go, and then this is totally clear. And it worked. Okay. Chant it again. Trishta nushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara samnya vairāgyam. Trishta nushravika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara samnya vairāgyam. Om. Okay, so the first level of non-attachment, you decide to do it, and then through the willpower and conscious mastery of your desires, you actually cease. You stop wanting things. You become non-attached to results and non-attached to any particular thing. There's a second level of non-attachment. Tat param purushakyater. Tat param purushakyater guna vaitrishnam tat param purushakyater guna vaitrishnam tat param purushakyater guna vaitrishnam. The highest form of non-attachment is, and these are not, this is not, I put in the words, but I didn't get the meanings. I did not yet get to this. So these are not correct, the meanings. Tat is though that, or this. Param is, the highest or the transcendent. Purusha kyater, kyate is Purusha kyate, that it becomes a kyater because of the sarga and the ga from guna. So a kyati is a way of thinking or being. In the word comes up, it definitely comes up in book 2, at the very middle, where it says the viveka kyati, that is what you are trying to develop in the course of the yoga practice. The kyati, the way of thinking or being that is based in viveka, in wisdom, in clear perception, in clear perception. So this is a purusha kyati. So, and kyate is in the so purusha is what you want to be established in. Purusha is the self. So when established in the self, purusha kyati, kyater, guna vaitrishnam. So again, vaitrishna came right here, one free of desire. So this, you are free from desire without cravings of the gunas. So the gunas are the, that is the makeup of Prakriti. So what this really means is that when you are established in Purusha, you no longer want anything in material reality. So there's two different ways like think of it as, when you know that you're the self, there's nothing to want. There's no one who wants. There are no things that exist there's no one who wants anything, and there's nothing to want. And then you are truly established in the highest level of vairāgya, because there's no desirer and there's no desire. And you are not attached to any idea of yourself as something that exists within the gunas. You don't think of yourself as being part of Prakriti, part of material reality anymore. You aren't a person who is non-attached. Whereas here, you still think of yourself as a person, perhaps one who's not attached. But here, you're just absorbed into Prakriti, and there is no one who wants or doesn't want. Tat param purusha kyater guna vaitrishnam. Tat param purusha kyater guna vaitrishnam. Om. Okay, and these two paintings, this painting leads into that painting. They're actually done together. So that ends one section. We now start another section. And this is a very important sutra, one that the commentators disagree on its exact meanings. But this one is towards the end of book 1, where it describes the process of samadhi. It refers back to the process of samadhi that is referenced here. Vitarka vitarka, vichara, vichara, ananda, ananda, asmita, asmita, rupanugamat, rupanugamat, sampragnataha, sampragnataha, vitarka vichara charanandasmita, vitarka vicharanandasmita, rupanugamat, rupanugamat, sampragnataha, sampragnataha. Om. This sutra describes the 4 steps of sampragnata samadhi, which is sampragnata is samadhi with some external awareness still. So, sampragnata. The sort of the lower level of samadhi, and then the next one, which naturally leads into the asampragnata samadhi, the without awareness of the of external reality, and the seedless samadhi. So the 4 stages, and the 4 stages. So again, commentators disagree on how these stages interact with each other. And also later on in book 1, like for example, the first stage is vitarka. Vitarka, vitarka, then vichara. Vichara, vichara, then ananda, ananda, then asmita. Asmita. Vitarka is with deliberation. So the way that it was described to me is, so vitarka, it's been described a couple of different ways, and it also, we're going to pick back up with this sutra because this also relates to, there's a way to just understand it simply, and there's a way to understand it on another level that refers to the process, that refers to Samkhya philosophy, what exactly is thought to be happening as you move your awareness and your perception of material reality, as you roll it back so that you are perceiving material reality closer and closer to perceiving prakriti, material reality, in its undifferentiated initial form. This also refers to you moving your perception of reality back because you want to get to the place beyond this. This is asmita. So asmi is I, and ta makes it I-ness. This is I-ness. This I-ness is not the asmita that is in book 2 as it's the same word, but this is a state of pure I-ness. So here at vitarka, you pick, for example, a focus that's in the material world, say a candle that you are focusing on. Vitarka is like the gross the grossest form of meditation, gross in the sense of the least subtle, then one could think of it simply as you focus on it, your perception, your awareness becomes increasingly subtle, so that you are not so much just perceiving the candle, but you are, say, perhaps perceiving light, and you are focused on light being a more subtle experience of candle, flame, or the idea light. Each of they're talking about something quite specific here, but one could think of it too as you focus on one thing. You start with your focus on a thing that you place on it, and then your attention becomes more refined, it becomes deeper. Your experience becomes deeper. You move into a state of bliss or ananda, and then eventually into a state of pure I-ness, I amness, where you no longer are aware of the candle, the flame, even the feeling of bliss has been left behind, but just a state of pure being, I am. These, I was taught that they follow each other consecutively, the way that the image does here. And then these gold spirals going out from it, the spiral into this painting here. So they naturally lead to the state of the asam prajnata samadhi. They naturally lead into each other. And then in my paintings, this spiral recurs in the sutras that relate to this. We'll start back up with this one, and I'll try to have an image of the Samkhya philosophy to start to get you used to what they're talking about. But really, that's something to take in doses. Okay, we'll chant this one more time and then do an om and just sit. Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah. Vitarka vicharananda smita rupanugamat samprajñātah. Om. Does anyone have any questions before we end? Questions, comments, requests? Okay, we'll do one final om and then finish. Om. Dhanyavada. Thank you very much. And I will see you next week.
Thank you.
That's
Namaste.
good. Thank you.
Namaste.
See you soon.